Hello, welcome back to map number 3 here at the Intel Challenge Katowice 2019. This matchup here, Tom, Dignitas versus Assassins. We saw Assassins earlier in Inferno versus Pain Gaming. Off stream, we didn't see the match Dignitas versus August. It was a 16-8 victory, I believe, on Train. Obviously for Dignitas as they are here in the winners match. And yeah, Dust2, what are you thinking early on?
For me, this is more just the test of Assassins. I think because we obviously expect big things from the female Dignitas team. Like they are one
former champions.
Yeah, we expect them to win or at least get to the final. Like that's the sort of minimum we're expecting going into this matchup. So realistically, this is where we see whether or not Assassins are going to be up to the level to fight versus these top teams, or if they're going to be more so one of the teams that had like a really good start to the day and just going to fall off. Either way, we're right into this one. Mimi looking to try and defend the B site, not going to get killed. Is going to be a big problem as retaking this site. It's pretty damn difficult. They've actually got 2 kits on the CT side, which is not something you see often at all. And now they are just straight into that retake. Quite a bit of utility, or at least in terms of a pistol round, a couple of flashbangs and a smoke. But the fact is there's so many strong positions already held by Dignitas.
Smoke. Double flashbang here for Dignitas. Try and pave off this retake now coming in from Assassins as Milk with the initial kill into this matchup, and it's a bloodbath here for Assassins as it's all down to Mimi now in the 1 versus 3, down to just 10 HP. Easily dispatched of by Milk, and with that, Dignitas female looking very good early on, very good crossfire there towards the B site. They knew that the bulk of the retake was coming through the double doors from Assassins, able to set up the crossfires towards car, the back boxes. Brilliantly played by them, and now Dignitas with a 1-round lead. This time we are seeing Assassins actually save into the 2nd round. So obviously Claudia, formerly being in the US, is going to have a lot of experience against and with the Dignitas team. Now moved to London and obviously playing for a European roster, that is Assassins. But into this one then, Tom. 3 players towards short, waiting for a push to come towards the A site, but actually it's just Kath lurking up through long.
Well, already managing to find one. I think it's more of just a bait play, trying to get the CTs away from that B site, where the rest of the players are looking to push in, because they do still have 3 AKs in this scenario, and even losing one of them would be too much. Nice shot from Claudia. The snap onto Kath's head, and they may be able to overwhelm Emily. It's not going to be much in terms of weaponry. Like, realistically, going into the next round, they don't want to have a Mac-10. They don't really want to have a scout either. But if they can get one of these AKs away, or even just get a kill with that Mac-10 and get the extra $600, that would be magnificent going into the next round.
Good off angle there being held by Milk. 2 kills for her. Flashbang comes in, but that's a cracking shot there by Mimi. 1 versus 2. Obviously, the time has ticked so far down, so I doubt she's going to be going for this one. Grabs the AK, gets away with her life. That's going to be saved into the next round. So, Dig going 2-0 here into this winners matchup. Obviously, a best of 1 as it's the losing matchups that are best of 3s. So, round number 3. AK saved by Mimi, so she can actually drop over an M4 to Vilga if she wanted to help her teammates buy extra utility. Instead, though, keeps onto the cash for herself for a later date. Now then, let's see what it's going to be like in the first buy round if Dignitas are a team that emphasizes long control or any control at all, as they seem to be going very heavy, very early on here, Tom, towards B.
Oh, nice entry from Artstar already. Vilga spoke about her playing very well in the first match. She needs a double, and while a single kill is not going to be enough, I think the CTs have to fall straight into a save here. I don't think they can take the risk to try and retake that B site. Didn't work in the pistol. It's not going to work now.
Save, as you say now, for Assassins. Keeping their hands on the AK AUG for both Claudia and Candy. Dignitas going 3-0 up, just going for the 4-man stack and contact play in towards the B bomb site. Typically, that first kill's traded, and it's a 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3 towards P. Instead of Artstar's crisp aim instantly into a 5 versus 4, all they have to do is trade Vilga, playing towards Car, and the round's lost.
Bare minimum is they want to hold on to these weapons, and that already isn't going to be happening. The thing is, though, even with 2, would be enough, because
yeah,
Mimi can buy.
died, though. That's the issue. Mimi could have dropped over an M4 to Kelly. Candy as well could have dropped another one, but they still will go for the buy. I think someone's going to have a UMP potentially or a...
I think it'll be a FAMAS.
Yeah, going to be the FAMAS. So 3-0 here for Dignitas, and if they win this one, Assassins are going to be back onto an eco. Two-man boost in towards short, but Dignitas going back for the same play, it seems, sending 3 towards the B site. Vilga and Kelly playing far more passive this time as they don't go for the overface towards the back boxes. Smoke this time to deny an early contact play in towards B. Boost towards A short to peer in towards the B lower tunnel, but so far from Dignitas, they're playing this one much slower than the last round.
Yeah, this is sort of one of those situations of if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Like they've been so effective at taking B control. Now I wonder if we'll see like Assassins actually learn, because every time Kath has pushed here, she has been alone. This time she has Emily with her, but it's more of just a fake play, and it's worked perfectly. You see the run through the smoke of Vilga. She's caught out. Emily is still just selling this fake on the other side of the map, but she's doing so well that the T's may even opt to just rotate towards it. Instead, they're just pieing with Assassins, catching them off at every turn, and that was just... It was almost like they were writing the script. Like, okay, we're going to push this way, you're going to face us, you're going to try and rotate, we've got players waiting on every avenue. That was just well played by Dignitas.
Holding for the aggression. And it worked out very well. They're going to be forcing out the first, I imagine, tactical timeout by Assassins in the 5th round. They are going to be out of cash as well, Tom, as we mentioned in the last round, so Dignitas can maybe get to a 5 or 6-0 lead very early on here in this winners matchup.
They'll have max loss bonus, but that's only going to allow them like some pistols or something.
Yeah, so I imagine,
maybe a scout.
Yeah, quasi buy here, you know, Kevlar pistols in the next round once it's potentially 5-0 for Dig. Go for that next full buy. And in terms of what they can change, the issue is they haven't really seen too much from Dignitas. When they had, you know, the FAMASes and 2 or 3 rifles, they went for an aggressive CT play and walked into a default. When they had their full buy, Dignitas went for a pre-called strat just to go for a 4-man contact towards the B site. So they don't really have too much information to work off of. You know, they don't know what the long take is from Dig. They don't know what the short take is or the executions that they have ready to delve into. What that means is it's very hard to react to that this early on. So
yeah,
Dignitas have done very well to not show anything and be 4, maybe even 5-0 up.
I think the thing that we're seeing from Assassins at the moment is like when you defend Dust2, you have to gamble. And that's always the case. Like, you have to either try and take long control, maybe have a little bit less presence over towards B and fight mid. But in this scenario, each time they've gone, okay, we're going to boost players up short, and eventually they're going to push in this direction. Now, note how Dignitas have not challenged mid once. It's always been we've had players outside B, and then we've had the take onto long. And because of that, the gambles that Assassins are going for are basically just leaving them out to dry already, because they have to re-challenge for long control, then they have to try and rotate, they have to try and get players in, because Kath has been just a maniac, like just running out long and just killing people, whether it was with the Mac-10 or whether it was with the AK. And although, okay, like you think, oh, 6 and 3, it's not the craziest statistics in the world. 185 ADR, and also she is the fake. Yeah. She's the fake. She's the one pulling players away. Her job could literally be get 1 kill and die. Instead, she's getting a couple each time, pulling everybody over, and then the other players can just go, okay, we're going to walk into an empty B site now.
Round number 5 is live. So, in terms of the buy, it's
really
not really anything coming out from Assassins apart from Kevlar for Kelly and Mimi. Obviously, they're on the maximum round loss bonus, as you said, so they could have actually afforded a lot more into this round. But smoke out towards mid to B. Kath trying to find the entry frag with the Mac-10, trying to spot out if it is a stack towards the B side. Doesn't quite see the helm of Kelly. Luckily, Rain is there to find one. Quickly treaded out, though, by Claudia.
Yeah, they've done some damage, or something at least, and also, well, we sort of talk about money being a problem for Assassins if they can keep like a weapon or 2 going. Like in the next round, sure, they'll have no trouble, but this could actually give them a buy into another. Instead, it does look like they're going to try and do some extra damage. Limit the amount of money that Dignitas can make, because you don't want to be fighting against 10, 12k, like trying to break that economy. It will take ages. At the moment, it's not in that much for say. It's still very good for Dignitas. They can buy comfortably no matter what happens here. Either way, Milk once again seems to just be a rock. If you put her in a position like be it the B tunnels against these sort of players rushing in, she's calm and collected and will just get you those easy frags.
So here we are, another buy round for Assassins. The second full buy they've had so far in this matchup. Orb for Claudia. Actually, apologies for Candy. And for Vilga as well. So they're going for the double op setup, expecting a contact play towards one half of the map.
The one time they challenge long, the T's have fought mid. This is actually just impeccable. It's literally like Dignitas are just getting them to do exactly what they want. Because now they just have short for free. Like, this is the sort of horrible thing of, like, you trying to mind game your opponent in the form of assassins, is that when they did gamble for short, no one went short. Now they've gambled for long, no one's gone long. And it's just painful to see. Like, just remember, there was a 2-player stack over on short just a couple of rounds ago.
Definitely comedic timing. Silver lining here for Assassins if they do have Candy situated with you up there towards Car. So as long as there's not too much of an abundance of utility, it should go fairly well for Assassins here. But Vilga, Candy, both of the AWPs find the entry frags and nearly got the collateral there as this R-Star down to 28 HP. But Kath from the rear finds 2. And suddenly, Tom, this is a 2 versus 2. The bomb can be planted for the AWPer. My goodness, how on earth have we found this situation? Oh my god, what's going on?
Oh, that was so close. R-Star down to just 8 HP. Are they going to go for the boost up? That would probably be the easiest way to pick the player off the site. They're just worried about Kath's position. Now, the AUG looking towards long is so powerful in this position, but Kath is just destroying players at the moment. Finds another nice shot from Vilga, at least giving her the chance to fight this one back. But so much utility just being expended by Kath to try and hold her from taking that defusal. She does have a singular flashbang to just try and bait out this defuse, but Kath... Oh, nice shot from Vilga. That's what it takes to put her down, but that was way, way closer than it ever should have been. Like, you see the opening picks. You see Candy as well. I think she hits 3 players in that shot. 1 dies, the other 2 get tagged low. I'm not sure if Vilga hit someone on the other side of the map at the same time, but I just saw all the health bars go down at once. Dignitas still have it in a 1 versus 1 because Kath is playing out of her mind.
Dignitas lost the round.
Yeah, just
about. So Vilga there with the shot of a lifetime to get the first round of the board for Assassins, but obviously the caveat behind that, Tom, is of course 1 player surviving, the money is still low, they don't have the cash to fall back on if they lose this round. Dignitas are falling back to the odd faithful. The flashbang comes in, doesn't connect though onto Vilga. 2 easy kills of the orb. Kelly unable to back up her teammate now as Vilga again falls short to R-Star. So 3 versus 3. Rain is low, so there's still a good chance here for Assassins in the retake. They have the defuse kit and some decent utility.
Yeah, they need to try and get a quick pick though, because they have really struggled to get back into this B site. Arguably one of the most difficult sites in the game to retake. Mimi, well placed though. They don't expect the late lurk out through the back of B. Actually looking to peek back in. Now remember, Rain only on 4 HP. It's going to be mainly down to R-Star to try and hold on to this site. Rain peeks out, gets caught. R-Star with the first, but can't quite manage the second. It looked like the stars were going to align for her for a moment there. It is worth also mentioning that R-Star on those entries into B has been flawless. Like, every single time she's gone into that B site, she has got 1, well, at least 1. This time she got a couple. However, wasn't quite enough in the retake. Again, it's Mimi, I feel like, being strong in these retake situations, able to find kills.
Yeah, that flank pretty much won them the round there. If MU Elite gets that kill onto Mimi, then obviously she can help out the players on site, hold towards window, hold towards door, set up that crossfire, and the round's pretty much as good as done. So Assassins still in the running in this first half. Very slow round coming out now from Dig. Going back to the default. They're not going for the 4-man contact plays across one of the halves of the map. Instead, slow and steady may win the race in this 8th round. Mimi, control towards long. Once again, Candy going to be situated towards the car position. Has the backup this time of Claudia playing towards Goose and not playing towards CT, which means a mid to B split could be very prevalent here from Dig. However, with the way they're shaping up here, it seems likely they will go towards A. Maybe not anymore, as Mimi lands a crucial headshot towards long as a Kath. And Kath has been unbelievable so far this matchup on Dust2 for Dig. So a lot of firepower taking out the server already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first time that we've seen Kath go down without any impact whatsoever. So now we get to see how the team actually function without her. They're going to try and take some middle control. Vilga's ready and waiting for this P count, but won't get anything done. Emily on the AWP, able to take her down, leaves Kelly, hasn't had the best start to this matchup, needs to be that hero we saw, and it's not going to happen again. It's Artstar with the opener onto the site, and that is pretty much the round done and dusted. Again, it's going to have to be a horrific retake on this B site to come in from Assassins, and you'd almost have to think there'd be mistakes made.
Are they going for this one? I think actually if Mimi finds the frag in towards B lower, they may actually go for this. Let's see then. Claudia the Molotov spots out Emulate with the AWP. Rain able to find Mimi on the flank though, so now Assassins have to save. There's no way that they can go for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. No hope, just going to be holding on to their weaponry, and, well, realistically, it's another round on the board for Dignitas. They take a little bit of a hiatus, a little bit of a break, and they come back strong, and CT side, again, they're in trouble. It's just not good in terms of the financial department. And you almost sort of question whether or not it's worth forcing into this one, because even in the next round, the buy won't be a particularly good one.
Yeah, it's a tough call here. I think it's a smart decision to have the pause for Assassins, try and determine the best way to solve the situation, which is their lack of funds. They win 2 in a row. One of those rounds was the clutch, though, which means they didn't have, well, a big enough money supply to buy into this one as well. And for Dignitas, this is where they start to run away with it. We saw on Train, we saw in Inferno, this crux point where the CTs run out of cash, the Ts exploit that, get the additional 2-3 rounds, get to this position of a 9-2 or an 8-2 position. And at that point, all Dig need is 1, 2, or 3 more rounds, and they see themselves at a double-digit half. And with the new meta of the, well, before you'd get 3 rounds with the pistol, now it's only 2, makes it harder to have that comeback in the second half. If we do see a 10-5 half here again for Dig, with the experience they have being the former champions of Intel Challenge, I think they close this one out and they go into the group play, into the bracket play, apologies, with the top seed.
Yeah, this is a tough position for Assassins, but they've been given the time. They're going to take a little bit of a pause just to talk this one through. Obviously, like, they've had a bit of a slow start, I think it's fair to say. And Kelly, who was so impactful at the beginning of the previous match we saw, like winning a lot of clutches, definitely hasn't got off to that same sort of start. And we've noticed that sort of on that B side, she has been the one getting overwhelmed. Now, a lot of that has just been Artstar running in and hitting a headshot straight away, which can be quite hard to combat. Like, if you just get wrecked instantly. Well, there we go. We do have the force coming in. And again, they're going to go for this aggressive play on towards short. Nobody's been noted so far, but they're both there.
The flash has to be perfect. It's not going to work. Candy lands. Evilk with the backup as well onto Artstar. 5 versus 3 immediately into the 9th round, as Dignitas were not expecting that aggressive play towards short this time around. Mimi as well with the off angle towards middle. Flashbang goes past her, and so does Rain. Very aggressive mid-peek there from Mimi. Don't know if I agree with that one, but nevertheless, I do agree with the 4 versus 2. And now for Emuli and Milk, they kind of have to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, this is a tough one to come back from. And, well, the Ts, their money's not in the worst case. They would be able to buy into the next round, so they can at least look to try and do some damage in this situation. The fact is, though, I think that's the first time that Dignitas have actually seen that short play. And even though it's been attempted multiple times, every other time they avoided it. So it's clearly a decent setup coming in for Assassins, and with somebody finally pushing into that angle. It comes down to the AWP alongside Vilga to get those opening kills. And I've noticed that Vilga's actually been playing like a lot of different roles across the map, but more of a rotational player by the looks of things. Kelly, very well placed. Knows exactly where they are, and Claudia is almost acting as a little bit of a decoy as they combine to get themselves the round right back in it, turning this half. And if this is their opportunity, well, they've got to grab it with both hands.
6-3. Dignitas still with the obvious lead into this one. Now we finally see the long take from both players though, Tom. This is what we're waiting to see. This is usually the do or die for the T side of a terrorist team. Claudia with 1, traded out though eventually by Artstar. Mimi caught in the crossfire, fully flashed up into the pit. Should be quarantined and should be picked off, very easily dispatched of by Milk. Candy with a double scope misses the easy shot there, and now Emuli is able to walk away scot-free. Man advantage here for Dignitas. Ooh, Vilga the leg there onto Kath, so this round may not be all said and done just yet, Tom.
Yeah, Kath running towards middle. Vilga's going to be able to find the pick and actually survive, and the spray through the smoke has been doing a hell of a lot of damage. They've got bogged down, and look at this, Vilga just going ham with the AWP. Will actually miss. What is this? Dancing around, and Vilga's managed to get the second no-scope on the site. It's messy, but she's not going to mind. And now Elite left into the 1 versus 3. Plenty of time left on the clock, managing to rotate around. Vilga with an aggressive peek into the tunnels actually hands her the B site. Unfortunately, the bomb's outside.
Tough situation now for Elite. Has to peek into the AWP of Candy.
She's only hitting shots through walls. Have you noticed that? That was the set. She got an AWP kill in the last round as well.
She's had collaterals. And 6-4 then. Cash is no longer there for Dignitas as they're going to be going for the eco. Only investment into some light firearms, P250s for a few of the players, and obviously the sole investment for a flash and a smoke for Rain. I imagine the smoke and the burst flashbang to follow behind it, and there it is. Vilga, looked like it could have been the collateral there, but Kelly, Vilga easily able to deal with the horde of players funneling through the smoke at B. And with that 5-6, we have a much more competitive game on our hand here, Tom. This is what we were waiting for.
Yeah, this is where we see Assassins start to rise to the occasion. Obviously, first tournament, brand new team. There'll be a little bit of jitters, especially facing off against like sort of the undisputed best team. And I think definitely, like when you look at sort of Vilga top of the board at the moment, I think it's important. Like she is the person, most of all, if anything, who will be working well under pressure. Like a lot of these other players, although they've been in decent teams, so you talk about like Kelly and like the sort of old team expert, who are one of the teams to sort of like beat like the old Res on like win a map off them or something like that. But the only team who were ever able to do it, I think they were actually Secret at that time, or Dynasty. They've had so many different names, but like she's the sort of player you look to like under pressure that will perform, and obviously she's leading the team as well, so to sort of have one of those like big rounds that sort of wins one for you, that's going to bring confidence to her. And I think that's always like something that's not really mentioned so much, is a confident in-game leader is always going to make better calls. And although the fragging doesn't always necessarily match up, like, oh, I've got 20 kills, so that means I'm going to call better. I feel like if you feel confident,
you're going to make
more like maybe more audacious plays.
Spreads through to the calling as well.
Yeah. But either way, again, we got a pause called in. This time, I would guess it's from Dignitas, as it has started to swing back the other way. Obviously, a couple of rounds that were like much closer in terms of like the economy for Assassins. Like if you looked at the buy, you would expect Dig to win it basically, and yeah, they haven't done. And then the last round, obviously, bit of a mess. I think that's the way I'd put it. Like the way that Vilga managed to get away with, no, not the last buy round, I should say. A bit of a mess. So realistically, this is a good time to just take a moment, calm yourselves down and go, okay, you know what, we're the champs, let's act like it.
Let's see if we do see that championship mentality into this winners matchup. Flashing towards short this time. It isn't the double stack, which we saw from Candy and Vilga. Vilga now playing towards the B site. Alone as Kelly is here towards middle. So heavy stack towards the A half of the map, and that may pay dividends later on into this round as Dignitas is setting up for the execute towards A. Smoke in towards CT, smoke in towards the cross as well of short. Will blind up the vision of Candy. The Molotov is very well placed there by Claudia. It will delay the inevitable. Well, here it comes then. Flashbangs, utility, all going to be used now towards A. Candy's not blind. This should be easy.
Yeah, the jump down, there's a bit of a problem, but they don't expect Claudia. Peeking out does so much damage, but doesn't quite manage to net themselves that second kill. Mimi's still here towards long, though, which is a bit of a problem. And with Kelly now given the space to push back in through short, got to be a little bit careful. There is a player on the side, but it's not going to matter. R-Star now left in a clutch situation. 1 versus 2. Mimi still over towards long. If she can win that battle, she's got a great opportunity as Vilga is just going to be down below, hoping to try and clear the angle. Has an AWP in hand, which definitely isn't ideal, but will throw the pop flash out, go for the fight alone. And R-Star's been given that chance. 3 kills to her name already. And Mimi's looking to make her way forward, catches the angle.
Made that
it will be the
well.
Dane to finish off this round. It's close, but still it's going to be Assassins taking themselves the victory.
Very well played there, the 1 versus 1 from Mimi. Even so, Vilga charging through at the backup of her teammate to trade her in the 1 versus 1. Uncharacteristic plays there in the heat of the moment. Round 13, 6-6. Money is still good from both sides, obviously thanks to the bomb going down, allowing for the full buy to come out from Dig. Well, I say full buy, there's a Khalil for Rain, but apart from that, it's good across the board. Smoke in towards short on the Xbox. Artstar once again flashed in towards middle. Dignitas use a lot of utility to get in towards short here. Makes things a lot more awkward in the afterplan and getting on towards the site itself. But this time Claudia's playing towards middle as Kelly plays on towards the B site, which means there's one less player towards A. And we saw how impactful Claudia was with that AUG in towards Goose. So, Tom, what are we thinking? Are they going to go back to the old A execute, or are they going to go for the B split?
I think just from the players starting to duck back into tunnels, I would expect there to be more of a play towards B, especially with that mid pick coming in, but they don't expect Kelly to be there as well. She manages to transition. 3 kills come out from her. Huge impact. Finally, we see her awaken, and then Vilga on towards the B tunnels. Milk's able to get absolutely nothing done. And now look at this position. This is going to be so tough for Elite. The remaining 2 CT players both towards that spawn point, and Candy just pops her head as she walks around the corner. Those are the sort of plays we were waiting to see from Kelly. Note the fact she had 1 kill not long ago. She now sits on 9. She has stepped up massively over the last few rounds.
Bit of that firepower is what Assassins were lacking in the early portion of this matchup. Dignitas had the 5-0 lead. Remember, Tom, they won the pistol. They won versus the first full buy from Assassins. And ever since, as you said, Kelly started to pick up the slack and get the frags in the mid portion around the crucial kills, turning it from a 4 versus 2 to those 3 versus 3s, making the rounds a lot more winnable. We've seen Assassins come to life here on their CT start of Dust2. See the money as well once we fade away from the graphic, but obviously Vilga once again top fragging in the server. Rain struggling at the moment, but she plays more of that supportive role as it is, so the pressure isn't on her to land those headshots. But yeah. 5 rounds now, won in a row for Assassins, so the cash is definitely there for them going into the latter stages of this first half.
Yeah, this is what we will see Dignitas hopefully try and switch things up a bit, because it has been a fantastic turnaround. I believe it was 6-3?
5-0 at one point.
Yeah. So.
And then it was 5-2. Then 6-2.
And then all the way fighting back. So yeah, Assassins winning a nice streak of rounds. Obviously, that does mean Dignitas gets a bit more money in terms of the loss bonus. So financially, okay, this round is not going to be that great. But going into the last round of the half, they will have plenty of cash no matter the outcome of this round. Of course, only pistols available for them, but it's looking like we might see a little bit of a change of pace. And just look at the A site. Because at the moment, there's nobody there. The rotation's come back from Claudia. She's got her AUG. An Incendiary will go down, but now the Crossfire's there. Ready and waiting for this push to come in. Claudia's done a lot of damage, but hasn't managed to pick off any of these players just yet. And is forced onto her USP. This is actually a little bit dicey from the CT side, but one by one, we know their opponent's beginning to fall. Rain is just stuck on the side. This is impossible. Maybe even gets her through the box. Assassins win the half, and after a bit of a slow start, are looking like they really are here to play at this tournament.
Final round then. Round number 15. Dignitas have the cash to invest fully. Let's see what their plan of action is going to be here. As it's their last chance to get around on their terrorist side. Artstar trying to spot for a play towards B lower. Maybe Digger expecting a very aggressive round here from Assassins after they built up the confidence from the consecutive rounds. I think it's, what, 6 rounds in a row now from Assassins on their CT side. Once again, though, smoking towards the Xbox, allowing for the Shroud of Vision to get them up towards short. Candy is alone towards A as Mimi has pushed in towards long, but she's going to be gathering so much information. Actually, Tom, she's going to have the flank and the drop on them.
Yeah, and there's so many players into middle. You can see that some people like checking the flank, but it may be too little too late. Mimi's dropped the bomb. She's gone for the target. She's gone for the jugular, but only manages to get herself one.
Again, she's overextended here and overfaced. She had the first kill, could have fallen back, give information where the bomb was, and the round would have been won, but thankfully, Candy's there to aid the team. Kath very close here. She's been so good so far in this matchup, but a good trade frag from Vilga will keep the lead for Assassins.
Not for long.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Rain with the lurk out towards B. Manages to turn this one into a favorable position now for Dig.
And this is actually, again, this B site. It's been a menace for Assassins when it comes to these retakes. Rain has had a bit of a quiet game so far. Bomb is going to be planted, and you can see the CT's desperately trying to capitalize off that bomb going down, but are unable to do anything just yet. The CT's definitely better in HP and in utility. Now, I'm interested to see where they're going to use that incendiary. Like, where's it going to go? Where can they clear off these angles? Of course, both with kits, that's not going to be a problem at all. Flashbang going to go out, and actually Milk's going to go through, but she doesn't manage to get anything done, and now it's left all onto Rain. It won't be happening. Vilga will get another important double. In fact, 3 overall. And Assassins, they're actually going to win the half 9-6 after at least being 6-7 rounds behind.
The flash from Rain doesn't quite go high enough, doesn't blind up Candy and Vilga. It's the right play, just poor execution. Tom, I didn't think we were going to be seeing a 9-6 scoreline in favor of Assassins after how poorly their start was. 16 kills for Vilga once again. We saw 22-23 on Inferno, 16 here for her, and Mimi on 13 as well. So they seem to be the star players on this roster. And now we wait for the players to ready up and continue this final best of one of the day. The next 2 best of 3s will be losing the losers best of 3s to see who does go out on the first day.
Yeah, those are the painful ones.
Yeah, those really do suck, especially the teams traveling from America or from Australia.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing as well, especially when you look at this group. Your options in the... So say you go into the loser match, you win your loser match, you're then either facing Dignitas or Assassins in a best of 3. Like, you don't want that. Like, Dignitas are the team that nobody wants to face because they're the ones that pretty much everybody is saying... Like, I've spoke to multiple teams, they go, okay, who are you worried about? We're worried about Dignitas. Like, I've spoke to Petra, I think Kelly said exactly the same thing, and well, they're doing pretty well at the moment.
But the issue is, though, how they know how good Dignitas is, because they can't play them unless they're playing them at 150 ping. There's Copenhagen Games, which was last year.
Yeah.
Intel Challenge last year. WESG, which is nationalities as well. So this team, for example, wouldn't be able to play. Claudia's American. And there's all the different nationalities in this roster, so... Yeah, it's hard to tell the level of competition between the tournaments, so... Assassins right now looking very good, even if they were scared coming into this matchup. So, A side completely left barren by Dignitas as Candy in towards long finds 2 precise headshots up close to the Glock. 5 versus 3. There is a defuse kit though for Rain.
Yeah, this is still such a tough position to get back into, though. All 3 players coming from the same spot. Cross being held by Mimi, but it's actually Claudia the one hitting the shots at the moment, and with Candy realizing they're all going the other way, she'll try and rotate back to help out Mimi. It turns out she doesn't need any help at all. 10-6, second pistol won by Assassins, and now they can look to build into their T side.
UMP for Mimi, Mac-10 for Vilga. Apart from that, AKs across the board here from the terrorist side. Eco coming out from Dig. 1 flashbang towards long. Here it pops. Kelly is going to be taken out of the server immediately. 5 versus 4, AK retrieve, but obviously the information's there. There's 4 players towards long. Now they can go towards the B side, but actually Artstar's a pretty good position here to catch Vilga off guard, but the jumping Mac-10 isn't actually effective. 5 versus 3, but I still have to favor Assassins in this one as they have the Kevlar, the utility, and some of the weaponry.
Yeah, Mimi also holding off the cross. If they can isolate her, then they have a much better chance, but you can see she's just going to try and switch up the angles, and those are 2 clinical kills. Either way, the damage has been done in this round. It's a success in my eyes from
nearly the Freudian slip there.
Dignitas. And, yeah, to try and break back into the site is going to be nigh on impossible. Left all onto Kath. She does have the AK, and you almost have to wonder if there's just that voice in the back of her mind saying, I should probably just keep this into the next round. It's going to be very difficult to get back into the site, especially now they know where she is. They can just watch both the angles. There's only 2 of them left, and you can see she's holding to try and get someone on the exit, but Claudia's actually just going to go face her. It's like, yep, you can wait for someone to cross. I'm going to face into your angle instead.
Round 18, first Byron of the second half, and Digger down 5 rounds into it. And that's with both pistols going 1-1. It's not as if Dig have lost both pistols. That's why they're in this situation. You know, where Assassins had 4 or 5 rounds as a buffer.
Yeah.
No, actually.
The other way around.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
Interesting as well to see that we've seen the Brazilians especially were using a lot of AUGs. It hasn't really come into play so much for Dignitas just yet. Obviously, the meta at the moment really leads towards that weapon. Like, a lot of people are prioritizing it over the M4s, especially the M1S, which we really don't see often at all. Emily's going to be bringing it into play, so see if it still works in her hands at least. But it'll be interesting to see, especially on Dust2. There's so many angles that the AUG really plays a big part in.
Yeah, mostly towards the A site, towards long, towards short.
Even think about tunnels. Like, if you could just home in.
This is the issue here for Rain. She wants to get aggressive, but I don't know if she has the confidence. Obviously on 4 kills, 4 for 14. It's one of those games where you're just landing every headshot, you're feeling so confident, and she just shoots for no reason, giving away her position. But now Assassins know that there is a push towards the B site, in towards the tunnels. Ooh, they're setting up for the execution towards the A site. 3 players here from Dig. I think Dig had this one in the bag.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is like the flank hasn't actually gained them too much info. Like, they've got strong positions over on A anyway. The jump down, is it going to be spotted? Emma Lee actually misses the spray, doesn't manage to connect anything, and the player over towards Goose has everything to do. Milk only available for 1, and now it is just that long flank, but it took way too long. That's the biggest problem at the moment. Looking to come back in from behind. Kath, she was great entering through along at the beginning of the previous half. But I'm going to go down, actually, with seconds left. And actually, they managed to gain quite a lot of ground here. Rain's going to pick off 1. This is back into a 2 versus 1. She brings it close, but thankfully Candy's there to put it down.
If Rain got the kill onto Candy, the bomb was not planted for Kelly, so that definitely could have been a 7th round for Dig, but...
She's not phased. You can see it on her face.
Oh, yeah, that's a confident look there. 12-6. Assassins now doubling the scoreline from Dig. And with that, we see another pause coming out from, I imagine, Dignitas as a tactical pause to work out how the hell they're down so much this early on.
Yeah, and this is the sort of brutality of best of ones, is if things start swinging away from you, if it's out of your favor, there's no second map to recover. Now, obviously, it's not like they're going out of the tournament or anything. They will have a best of 3 decided to play later today, which is still undecided against who, if they are to lose this one. But, of course, they've got the time to talk things through. They're just getting into that CT half. We're yet to see an AWP or even a full utility buy coming out from them just yet. So it is sort of counting your chickens a little bit early. But the problem is they don't actually have that many rounds to play with. Now, they can't buy into this one, so that's likely to be 13 unless Assassins make some big mistakes. And then you're sort of in a situation like, can you sort of win this out without making 3 rounds go the other way, or them taking 3 rounds off you, which seems to be the more likely scenario.
We would have to see a 10-3 from the next round onwards from Dig if they wanted that win in regulation. And with how this is shaping up, to be honest with you, Tom, I don't think that's going to happen. But stranger things have happened. So, 2 smokes, 4 flashbangs, and PP50s across the board here from the CT side, Dig. Mimi charging down middle with the Mac-10. Walks straight into the mid doors, and the dink as well from Kath, but gets 1 kill. Unable to get the second as the rest of her team come barreling in towards the B side. Smoke towards the doors. It's going to be 13-6 here, Tom. Question is, how clean can they make this anti-eco?
Yeah, no, a lot of damage done to Claudia. I think that play there from Vilga is actually way more valuable than really meets the eye. So she got 1 kill and died, but she had all the information. The team were setting up for a B hit anyway, but she literally just said, okay, I've heard like multiple players pushing through. You're probably clear to go onto the B side. So important from her. Now we look towards the remaining CT players to see if they can steal a weapon away, because you look at the finances over on the Assassin side, it's not anything to marvel at. They're not rolling in the cash just yet. Okay, Kelly's got a little bit of a bank saved up, but they want a clean round like this. They want to make sure they keep 4 players alive, and it's almost like one of those sneaky little plays. Like you come in this way, looking in the front door, and they've gone out the back door at the same time.
Candy, here's the flashbang, dodges it with ease, lands the kills even easier. 13-6. This is where Dig really have to step up if they want to try and make this even competitive, to say the least. So, Artstar splitting 3 players in towards middle. Orb there from Emily gets the tag onto Candy. There's Mimi in towards the boxes. He's aggressive, but Candy does forfeit her life to the AWP. Now, for Assassins, they have control towards short. They're a man down early on, but they still have 1:25 left on the clock. They have no control towards long, which makes things quite awkward here as they are quarantined in towards middle. No pressure towards B, nothing towards long. But the lifeline they have is still 1 minute left on the clock. They may just go for a group play towards the B site, which I think may be the best option.
Hey, this round's actually interesting me because I spoke about the sort of AUGs earlier in the game, and we've seen every single player bar one switch. So it might have just been wanting to save the extra $50 or maybe not having it. But either way, here is that one player, Rain, the solo player on B. This could be a big, big problem. She needs to at least get a kill, and she will do that. And actually, the flashbang buys her time, even hits the dink. But look at the trades. Artstar goes down with absolutely no response at all. Now we turn into that 3 versus 3. Now, in terms of utility that they have left, they've only got 3 flashbangs.
Diffuse kit for Kath. No players coming from the flank though towards the B tunnels, which means crossfires can be established here for Assassins. 1 more flashbang remaining for Kelly. And here comes the retake. Push comes through. Mimi and Kelly have the crossfire there towards the doors, and this is the issue when you have no flank here, Tom. There's no one to catch the player towards the boxes, towards the back plat as well. Very easy round 1 there for Assassins. 14-6. Reset now for Dignitas, down to the bare minimum of cash.
Mimi just seems like a force to be reckoned with so far in this tournament. Like, genuinely has been my standout best player so far, if anything. Because she literally,
definitely.
in every after-plant position, she's well-placed for anybody pushing into the site and just doesn't seem to miss a beat. So, currently sat with 23 kills against what has been pretty much, if you talk to any female team, the undisputed team to beat.
Famas for Artstar. And for Emily. Apart from that, rifles across the board. M4s or AUGs. No defuse kits, no Molotovs, just 2 smokes remaining with 1:15 left on the clock. It's not looking too inspirational here for Dig on their CT side as they have 2 players stacked towards short. Candy peering around the corner, finds one. Maybe here's the steps of the second. Yeah, trap there towards short. 5 versus 3. Candy just tries to apply even more pressure. And I think this is match point here, Tom. 5 versus 2. Rain and Artstar forced to salvage onto the weaponry for the 22nd round.
Yeah, I really like the short take there. And having the AWP going for that sort of entry frag, but then having the pop flash just after that to completely blind up the second player. You don't expect there to be a flash after someone's already taken that initial peek. So left their opponent completely blind, and then they just had that pincer on towards the A site. Really good take from Assassins, and now they have the luxury of trying to remove weapons. It's not going so well so far. Artstar at least padding her stats a little bit and keeping that AK firmly in her hands. Now, the rest of the Ts can continue to push if they really want to. Now, the AWP, I don't want to see it. You don't want to even risk giving that over to your opponents. Like, Emily is definitely someone who can turn around with her AWP. And even just that one trade, It's not going to get Art Star, but that one weapon going down is so much more valuable than even the 4 that they lost. Because if you notice, Assassins, plenty of money. They can buy back into this round, no problems. Getting that extra rifle for the CTs would have made a big difference. They would have had a much better buy.
Match point now for Assassins. And 11 match points to work with. Just a simple rush in towards the B site. Through the Molotov they come. Into the welcoming arms of Rain.
Who's lost a gun. I think a nade went off there and just
shot the AK away.
I like the fact that Assassins fall off, though. Because you see so many teams, like, no matter what level of Counter-Strike, they go, okay, we're rushing B, and they commit to it no matter what happens. The smoke goes down, they lose their initial player, and they go, okay, this is not working. We're not going to be able to brute force our way through this round. Obviously, it's a great way to finish a game of rush B. It feels very good. It's like, yeah, we just destroyed them at the end, but it's much more important that they just don't give Dignitas a way back into this game. They're a team with a lot of experience. They're used to winning. Kelly doing a lot of damage here and almost manages to even up the scoreline. Artstar will eventually put her down, and it's going to be Vilga left into a 1 versus 3 situation. One of the players that you'd want in this sort of scenario. Heaps of experience on her back and also a talented individual. This is a very difficult scenario. The only real saving grace is the fact that a couple of players are pretty damn low and they are separated like, all across the map. If she actually goes towards A here, there's only going to be 1 defender, and that's Kath with a Deagle.
Yeah. 37 HP. Playing the headshot angle. Ooh, and actually lands the headshot herself.
That's a nice shot. She has gone a bit quiet, though. Like, bear in mind, I think she was, like, 9-6 at one point. That has slowed down. She was having a lot of impact over on that terrorist side.
Yep.
Still one of the top fraggers for her team. But I think the difference maker is we've seen the step up on the other side. Like, Mimi's been playing very well. Candy, 18-9 at the moment with that AWP. Kelly as well. I can't remember what her scoreline was. Like, 1 and, like, I don't even know, like 8.
Kelly?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just remember Rain being 4
Yeah.
14. Obviously struggling early on. Finding something here. But unfortunately, 15 rounds too late. Once there's nothing to lose, some of these players come to life. 15-7. Still many match points to go.
Yeah, this is a long road back, but if any team in this tournament could do it, it would be Dignitas. They're going to be given a moment once again to talk things through. Obviously, to be honest, this pause could be going either way, because the T's obviously not wanting to give a chance for Dignitas to get back into this. Obviously, for them, as said, spoke to Kelly before, and they were the team, not, I wouldn't say necessarily feared, I don't think that's the right word. They were the team that they expect a lot of. Like, Dignitas were the one to beat. So being in this situation where you're like, okay, we're very close to knocking them down into that decider matchup and being like in with a good opportunity to, well, basically get straight through to the playoffs with only playing a couple of best of ones. That's obviously something that they want to achieve. Let's calm down a bit. Let's get back into the rhythm of things and just finish this game off.
FAMAS for Kath, apart from that. Strong weaponry here for Dignitas. M4s and AKs. Boost here to counter the mid to B split, if that was the call from Assassins. But that does leave A fairly vulnerable here as Kath's there towards Pip. Milk being the sole defender now towards the actual A site. A short control, fully in the hands of Assassins, and now they can line up their grenades, pin them, and basically be ready to pounce towards the A site. As I said, drastically weaker than it was in the prior rounds. But Arstar, the pushing towards B, gets the information required. Kelly goes down as Arstar with a nice flick there to their dome. And now Assassins pull the trigger towards A.
Yeah, although they have lost the early player, this may not be as easy as it seems. The problem is there's no smoke down as they drop, and that's already going to be another opening. A second player goes down. Milk looking for the peek back in and finds the instant headshot. There's a trade onto Artstar, but it may just be too little too late. Candy can't do anything from here. And Dignitas, they've got themselves another round and even get a little bit of a breather here as the T's can't really invest too much. You might see maybe Kelly go for like a solo AK. Like, not with anything else behind it, but just a chance to do some damage.
Just goes for the Deagle Kevlar, plays it safe. Four players heading towards B early on. Seems like maybe a flash over middle to try and catch a AWP off guard where Elite currently resides. Philga with the flash. Elite falls back though, not going to be caught off guard by the pistols. Artstar's here to greet them with the FAMAS. 1-2 goes for the hat trick, but with the backup of Rain, who finds one before being traded out. And now it's all down to Candy with just a Glock and not much of a dream. 15-9 and 6 now for Dig, and it is starting to become a bit more palpable. But I'm not going to be sold until it's a 15-12 or 15-13 and get really down to the wire.
Yeah, I think that just the way that Assassins have been playing so far, you have to, well, obviously on the scoreline, you have to favor them still finishing this off. But as said, they're up against the team that can punish them if they take their foot off the gas, if they get a little bit too excited and throw this one away. By the looks of things, again, they're going quick over towards this B site, maybe just making a lot of noise and actually gonna just fall back into middle. Elite looking like she's gonna be challenged once again, but she's been doing well with this AWP. Haven't had it a lot of the time. The money keeps getting reset for Dignitas over on the CT side, but here goes all the utility. She's left blind, but manages to escape the wrath of these T players and finds an opening as well. The smoke has to be thrown down before the T's can make any further move, and this creates a big problem. Just look at the stack on the B side at the moment. This is a fantastic read coming out from Dignitas. Assassins are pushing into, well, pretty much the same amount of players that they have total.
Well, just like that, Mimi the last one alive. 1 versus 5, a minute left to work with. 25 kills into this matchup in the 25th round. Brilliant performance so far, still on 100 ADR. Has the bomb. And a smoke here, Tom, so she can smoke the cross, try get on towards the A site, and at best get a plant to give her team some additional cash. Let's see how this is going to pan out, though. 30 seconds remaining. Kath with the AUG. Should be enough to hold the angle. Smoke has the gap, and she is able to cross. First kill, and unable to get the second. Milk with the trade. 10-15. Double digits now for both these teams.
Yeah, slowly dragging this one back at Dignitas, and this is where you need the experience of players like Vilga, of players like Mimi, to just sort of calm the rest of the team. Obviously, I feel like most of them actually have been around for quite a long time, so there's a lot of experience under the belts of Assassins, even if they are a new team. Like that's the other thing to mention. Like, this is their first event playing together. They're at least showing that they can play against the best. They don't want to let this one slip. That would be a painful loss after what has been a fantastic match from them so far. Vilga is actually going to manage to find one. Emily has to be careful because there's a player a little bit closer than she thought. She is still going to manage to win that battle and has been good over the last few rounds. Again, though, she gets caught out. And actually, another's come in. Artstar, been fantastic over the last few rounds. She's going to need to be once again. Molotov going to be bouncing and actually isolates herself off. That's going to allow the T's at least presence on towards this site. Now, bear in mind, there's still no armor for either of these remaining players, but look at Kelly. She's going to be lurking around the back of the smoke. Flashbang comes through. She's ready for it. Oh! Doesn't manage to find the spray. It's left onto Vilga. Both players so desperately low, but it won't matter with the AWP. And Rain's just going to pop her head as she runs past. It's so close to the end of the game. 23 HP, and 22 of them are on Artstar. Kelly had the chance to end it. She just couldn't quite finish them off.
1 HP for Rain, 20 or so for Artstar. That is a big blunder there towards short. I thought the game was pretty much wrapped up in that one.
It's one of those situations where if she just kills one of them, it's a better scenario, but she's so close to getting both. And that's going to be a huge sigh of relief for Dignitas. Bear in mind, that was just pistols. That was not a full buy, and Candy has already kicked things off again. She's been so good at finding these opening picks on the T side. Aggressive AWPing is definitely not an easy thing to do anymore. Is it like, obviously it's a long time ago, but it's it's one of those things where just peeking into these angles is very difficult, and she's been successful a lot of the time.
Well, this may be it then. 5 versus 3. Candy with the double entry. One towards long and the second towards middle. And now with that, Artstar rotating from the B ramp.
She got tagged by the AWP as well.
Wow, yeah, Candy really trying to close this map out for her team. So, 4 players towards short. Claudia alone towards A long.
Yeah, there's no one here. That's the thing. They can literally just have a free pass. Now, Kath finding that 1 kill gives them a chance. Like, if she'd lost that battle, it's done.
Ooh, Vilga as well. Spots out Rain towards lower tunnel, so they know where 2 of the players are now. And obviously they saw Artstar towards middle, so what's the call now that they have all the information they need?
Yeah, this has actually turned into a pretty damn close scenario. Kath on the site. She's had many big plays so far in this matchup. The Molotov gonna force her back, and Vilga 1 HP. It doesn't matter. It takes 1 shot to put Kath down, and now they have that bomb going down on towards the A site. The rotation from Rain will at least gain long control. The problem is the double-pronged short offense, almost, I want to say, as they look to take further control. Artstar will be able to finish off 1. Now, Vilga's only on 1 HP. If she can get around this corner, fake flash out, it's not going to work on Vilga. She's been around a long, long time. She's not falling for that one. And now Rain, she's had a decent comeback in the second half. She needs to pull off the 1 versus 3. I think Mimi spotted her as well. She'll be able to finish off Vilga. Spots the second, but it's not going to happen. It will be Kelly to close this game out. And it is going to be Dignitas not getting through straight off the bat.
Straight away. They obviously still have the best of 3s to come after this tomorrow, but yeah, already Assassins being the first team qualified for the bracket play on the stage, guaranteed top 4. Congratulations, obviously, to Vilga & Co. New team. She's in-game leading it. She leaves the bespoke best team in female Counter-Strike for so long. They were undefeated on LAN on a single map in the last Intel Challenge. They lose out to Dignitas. And now the previous champions fall short in the first day. So very interesting. Much more competitive game than what we've seen so far today, which is great to see. Obviously, it was a bit of a slow burner. And it was the comeback in the latter portion of the map that really
got scary.
Yeah, with things like the heat up. So if we saw that Dignitas confidence earlier on, maybe it could have been a much better performance. But all said and done, now we have the losers best of 3s. 2 more to come. Stay in tune for that one, and we'll see you shortly.